Richard Devitt, juror in Tupac's sexual abuse case. Kathy Scott, former Las Vegas Sun crime reporter, author, The Killing of Tupac Shakur. Dr. Leon Proctor, former trauma department chief at Bellevue Hospital. Greg Kading, former LAPD detective. Angela Artis, Tupac pen pal, author, Inside a Thug's Heart. Virgil Roberts, former president of Solar Records. Tommy D. Doherty, former Death Row Records engineer. Cormega, New York City rapper. Nashawn Anderson, former Look Here Creations intern. Eric Farber, former attorney for the Tupac estate. Dr. John Files, former trauma department chief at Las Vegas's University Medical Center.
Chuck Walker. Initially, he wasn't that big a hero in colonial Peru. The Spanish were so petrified they really tamped down on, publicity. It's really the 20th century, and particularly with this really peculiar 1968 military government that is leftist. This is a moment when U.S.-supported right-wing military regimes are dominating. Peru has a left-wing regime, and they're looking for a hero. He becomes the national symbol. He's indigenous, but mestizo, so in other words, he's got European blood. He's cool-looking, he's got a ponytail, he looks good on a horse. The other national heroes had all been white dudes from the coast. So in the 60s, people wrote more about him. What I understood is the Black Panthers chapter that Afeni was involved with in New York City had a reading group, and they were understandably looking for revolutionaries of color. They read about Tupac Amaru II and thought it was cool. Afeni said later that she named her son that because she wanted him to be worldly.
1.
Sharonda Davila Irving. In our community, we would be considered extended family. Our mothers were pregnant together.
In 1970, Afeni Shakur was tried as a member of the Panther 21 for 186 counts of attempted murder, attempted arson, and conspiracy to blow up schools, police precincts, department stores, and the New York Botanical Garden. Tupac was conceived while she was out on bail. While pregnant, she defended herself and others at trial, and a month after her acquittal, on June 16, 1971, Tupac was born.
We were born together. Our mothers were both in the Black Panther Party. When we were small, my family moved to Jersey City. So when we saw each other, we were going there or coming here. We were taught to be leaders from the beginning. When you don't really know boundaries in a positive sense, being amongst the people is important to your existence. If your parents are immersed in working for the people, then that means as a kid, you're right there with whoever they are going to visit or whoever they are going to support. You play with all the kids that are there.
Jane Rhodes. The founding of the Panthers is very much rooted to the dual sort of transitions of both civil rights and Black Power activism during that period. They're very much indebted to and engaged with a sort of rising Black nationalist thinking and affinity that's coming out of SNCC in particular.
The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, a student action committee that challenged segregation in the 1960s.
But also Malcolm X in the Nation of Islam. Robert Williams.
Civil rights leader and president of the Monroe, North Carolina chapter of the NAACP, who obtained a charter from the NRA to establish a Black Rifle Club and fight off the KKK.
There's a whole constellation of people they sort of saw and heard and read. Both Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, who are ostensibly the founders of the Black Panthers, sort of came up in the kind of civil rights, Black community activism of the period. They worked for anti-poverty agencies. Bobby Seale was a Vietnam War vet, and so he was very much situated within that kind of anti-war veterans movement. They both are going to Merritt College, which is a junior college.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.